So I think I said this the other day, about 26% of the people left on in that foreclosure program are coming off next month. Okay, they hit their 12-month term. You only get 12 months. So that April, May, you may see some people willing to sell, because about a little over 11% of those people have less than 10% equity and they are behind. What's happening is, what I just realized a couple of days ago, the people that can't catch up that 12 months or 6 months forbearance, they're putting it as a second mortgage behind the first. Well, that will affect equity at some point down the road. So now's the time for them to sell, versus like in 08 where you had no equity, you couldn't sell, you're upside down. They've got something here to work with, right?
So,
And
so us
kind of
communicating that this is truly the high of the high, most likely won't get any higher.
if you're coming off forbearance and you still can't make that payment, now's the time to sell.
It's like selling stock at the high to get as much value out of it. This asset is never going to be probably worth more. So if they sold now, they could maybe pull 100,000 out, versus next year maybe only being able to pull 70 out.
Or less, yeah.
Or less. And when we look at what happened in Gulf Harbors from 2010 to 2011, I wish I kept that chart that Darlene had up that one day. But I remember the average price for the neighborhood went from 283 to 208 or something like that overnight. So if I would have waited too long to sell and I had that 100,000 in equity, I may have only had 46 or 32, or right.
Yep. And we'll have some graphs here over the next week. We're going to be putting out about, who has the equity. The majority of the people who had the least amount of equity are FHA loans, obviously, right? But the thing is, of the 2.5 million left, there's not going to be a rush, because they come off spread over 12 months. And of that, only 10% are really struggling with equity. So, I mean, the deal is, there isn't going to be a problem. There's going to be houses to sell, which is kind of your wheelhouse, right?
So it's not going to be a tsunami of distressed sales, but that is our listing opportunity of the moment, isn't it? Helping those people.
And there will be, right? There will be foreclosures. There will be some issues. It just won't be, like you said, the tsunami that people are telling me is going to happen.
Well, and the tsunami is what really messed up our market, because let's just say all of us are in a good spot financially, and then 6 homes near us get listed as foreclosures, short sales. They're definitely distressed. They haven't had maintenance done. All that just chisels away at our neighborhood's value.
Yeah, and it's immediate, right? That was the one thing we keep talking about back then. It was just immediate. I woke up the next day and all of a sudden, where'd it go, right? So at the end of the day, the other piece of the puzzle is that there's this index where they look at mortgage credit availability, right? And it's getting better. Well, all that means is they're actually lightening up underwriting requirements, if you will. More and more people are coming back. And it's been that slow roll, where you can do a little more. A couple of the COVID overlays are starting to go away. Yet there's still, if you're self-employed, you got to prove that you're still making money through a profit and loss. Everyone's got to show it. So there are still extra hurdles in there that have not been removed yet.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because that's where our listings are. So next week, if you guys get us some of these charts and graphs, I think that would be what I get out to my database. And the message or call to action would be, who do you know in your world that might be in this situation that I can help? Because now is the time.
Does Remind tell you if a home's on forbearance, if someone's in forbearance?
I don't know, but I will check.
I looked, I didn't see anything. That's where the gold
is.
Yeah, that's where the gold is. I looked into Remind. I didn't see any. There's not like a column that says forbearance with a checkbox. That'd be nice.
Right. Yeah, and we can't tell. Heck, we have to have the buyer sign a letter saying I'm not in forbearance, because we've closed with people where you look at the credit report and their mortgage statement and it says it's up to date and no problems, and you can't tell.
So there's probably no tracking mechanism, and yet it's a communication mechanism. It's us communicating that this is an opportunity for anyone that might be in a situation, and we can help them. And this is the biggest opportunity that they're going to have that's positive to help them out of their circumstance. And I think that's the message of the moment.
Right now. Yep.